Hello, my name is Kathy Farrell. I'm a registered nurse, and I'm here to talk to you today about managing your medications in the home. This session is particularly directed to older adults, since older adults are more at risk for mismanaging their medications in the home. A lot of my experience and observation in this area has come from over 15 years as a home health nurse. And during that time, it was my observation that many individuals were mismanaging their medications in the home. There are many reasons that individuals mismanage their medications. It's been estimated that anywhere from 5 to 15% of older adults do not follow their medications as they're prescribed. A recent study has shown that 1 out of 7 hospital admissions are directly related to either over-medicating or under-medicating as an individual. In medicine, we have a term that is called non-adherence. And non-adherence indicates or means that an individual is not properly following their medications. There are many reasons for this. Sometimes individuals are forgetful. Sometimes individuals are confused and they don't really know which medicine to take at which time. Some individuals don't see their medication as necessary, and so they just neglect to take their medication. And cost is also an issue, but oddly enough, that's the least of all of the reasons that individuals don't adhere to their prescribed medications. You know, as a nurse, and I've been a nurse for over 37 years, the most disturbing thing to me is the human toll that occurs when an individual is not adhering to their prescribed medications. I have seen individuals lose function, and as a result of losing function, they also lose their independence. It also affects an individual's quality of life simply because they don't feel well or they're not feeling up to par. There are also some indications that there is premature placement in nursing homes when individuals do not follow their prescribed medications. I want to tell you a story about an individual that I was called to see as a home health nurse. She had recently been discharged from the hospital. She had spent several days there. And the result of the hospitalization was because of non-adherence. She was confused. She didn't understand about her medications. Some medications she wasn't taking at all. Others she was taking too much of. And so it resulted in a medical problem which required hospitalization. These are the kinds of things that nurses are very interested in preventing. I, as a nurse, would really like to see prevention in this area. This individual was very distressed about the hospitalization. She was frightened. She was embarrassed, she was confused, and she lacked education and understanding in the area of her medications. But during the time of my visit with her, I asked her if I could assemble all her medications. And she gave me permission to kind of search in her medicine cabinet. And I took out all of the bottles of pills. And by the time I was done, I had a whole shopping bag full of pills. So it's no wonder that individuals become confused and uncertain about what their medications are. What I've set out to do based on all of this experience, and in this individual's case, we had a success. I was able to successfully educate her so that she could correctly take her medications and prevent future hospitalizations based on non-adherence. But in all of this, I began to think a lot about what else can I be doing to really assist individuals in preventing these types of situations. And so what I decided to do was to design a practical system that individuals can use if they're managing their medications in the home. I'm a big advocate of aging at home. And one of the components very often of aging at home is being able to successfully manage your medications. So what I've done is design a practical system, and it consists of 5 steps, 5 simple steps. The 5 steps are to get organized. That's the first step. The second step is to be aware. The third step is to gain assistance. The fourth step is to take responsibility. And the fifth step is to enjoy your life. So I want you to remember these 5 simple steps: getting organized, be aware, gaining assistance, taking responsibility, and enjoying your life. I reflect back again to the example and the story I told you earlier. Had this individual had an accurate medication list, she probably could have prevented hospitalization. So the single most important thing in getting organized is to create a medication list. I want you to do this first. It doesn't matter if you take 3 medications or 10 medications. I want you to create a medication list and write it down: the name of the prescription, the dose of the prescription, the time that you're scheduled to take that particular prescription. Also included on that medication list, I want you to list any allergies, any antibiotics, for example, that you may have had a reaction to. List your recent immunizations, whether that's a flu shot or a pneumonia shot or your most recent tetanus toxoid shot, and include that on your medication list. Along with all your prescribed medications, and this is the single most important step, it's important that it's accurate. Along with the medications, you should also list any over-the-counter medications that you take on a regular basis, whether that's a Tylenol or Benadryl, or if you're also taking supplements, for example, vitamin D, or you might be taking vitamin C or A. Include those over-the-counter drugs, any supplements, and then lastly, I want you to include any herbal products that you may be taking. The reason for that is often medications interact or distract from one another. And so there are certain over-the-counter medications that may be contraindicated with the medications that you're taking, your prescribed medications. And make a comprehensive list. And I want you to treat this list seriously, as serious as you would treat your Medicare card, your driver's license. Have an up-to-date list. And the idea with this list is this is the list that you go from on a regular basis, and you know that it's the current list. The idea is to keep this list in a convenient place and to also take it with you for all your medical appointments, whether that's a dental appointment, a physician appointment, a podiatrist appointment. Just have it readily available. It's the single most important, safe thing that you can do in managing your medications at home. and make certain that when you go for your physician appointments, that you take the medication list with you and you ask your physician to review the list. The second step is to be aware. And you may say to me, well, Kathy, you know, I'm aware that I take medications. Just being aware that you're taking medications is not enough. You have to make more effort than that. When I talk about awareness, I'm talking about, do you know what the drug is for? Do you know how often you're supposed to take that medication? Do you know, for example, if there are any special considerations? If you're taking Coumadin, are you aware that you shouldn't take aspirin? If you're taking antidepressants, are you aware that maybe you should not have any alcohol intake? So awareness helps you to better understand what the medication is used for, how often you take it, what the side effects are, when to report those side effects to your physician, and then also just being comfortable in understanding that these medications are for your well-being. They may be prescribed to provide more comfort. They may be prescribed to maintain your endocrine system, for whatever the reason might be. I want to point something out to you in terms of awareness, because I'm not certain that everyone understands these prescription labels on the bottles. And so this is also part of awareness. When a pharmacist dispenses the medication that your physician has prescribed, it will indicate the pharmacy name. It has the pharmacy phone number, so if you ever need the phone number for your pharmacy, it's right on your bottle. It also has the date that it was dispensed. It gives you the name of the medication, and sometimes the names get tricky because it might be the brand name or it might be the generic name, but the name of the medication is on the bottle. The dosing is on the bottle, the dosage, whether they're tablets or capsules, and then it also says how often you should take that medication. So the bottles of your prescribed medication is a good way to begin to make that list where you can write it right down. The prescribing physician is also listed on the bottle, and it indicates at the bottom of the label whether or not there's any refills on this prescription. Sometimes what we find with non-adherence in individuals is because they forgot to refill their prescription, and so they go 3 or 4 or 5 days waiting for a prescription from the physician to pick up the medication at the pharmacy. So it's important to know whether or not this prescription has any refills. That way you can time your refills successfully so that you don't go days without your medication. Sometimes physicians won't permit a refill. They may want to see you in their office before re-prescribing the medication. This is a lot of important information on a label. I'm not certain that you are aware or not that there was this much information on the label, so I wanted to point that out to you. So again, being aware, generating more awareness about why you're taking this medication, why it's prescribed. The next step is gaining assistance, and this is sometimes an awkward topic. Most individuals don't want to ask for help. I would advise you, if you're taking more than 8 medications a day, that you probably should gain assistance. That means you need some help in organizing your med list, your dosing, so that you're doing it correctly. There are many medical professionals that are more than glad to gain assistance. Your physician's office can provide assistance. You may have friends that can provide assistance. Family members certainly should provide assistance. you can't be stubborn in this area. You need to ask for help and have the certainty that you're doing it correctly, and the certainty that you are adhering to your medication schedule. The single most important individual, and I want you to spend time on making friends with your pharmacist. The pharmacists at all the retail locations are very helpful. They can provide you with lists of side effects and lists of your medications. They can also answer any questions about dosing that you might be having. And so it's really a good idea to make friends with your pharmacists. They are invaluable assistance in answering questions. They also can help you problem solve, so that sometimes if you get on the phone with them and you have a question, they can spend the time with you and answer those questions. So gaining assistance is really, really important. As far as medications, and taking more than 8 medications a day, some individuals find that using pill boxes is a great assistance to them. I've brought a couple of samples. There are many different products available on the market. They're inexpensively priced. They're generally made of plastic so that you can wash them. If you drop them, they're not going to break. This particular pill box is a box that's commonly used for 2 dosing. In other words, if you take a medication in the morning and if you take a medication at night. And they open very easily. They're very well labeled, Sunday through Saturday on both sides of the box. And the nice thing about this is that what you can do is prepare your medications on a weekly basis. Many individuals like to do this and just have a pill box, and then they never really return to their primary bottles until it's time to fill the pill box again. It's very easy to do. All you need to do is have your medication list. You look at the medication. You see how many times a day you take that medication, and you can just pour it out of the bottle into each of these slots every morning, every evening. And then what I do is when I'm finished filling the pill box, I just take that medicine bottle and turn it upside down so that I know I've done it. So I have my medication list, I have all the pills assembled, and then I can take my medication pill box and just fill each of these slots. And when you've completed doing that, all you need to do then is to clip down the tabs on the pill box, and then you're completely organized, you're certain about your dosing, and you can just put your pill bottles aside for the week and just use this as a way to take your medication. It also is helpful because you can see if you've taken your medication or not, so that if sometimes you forget, you can look back and say, well, I've already taken it today, or I took it tonight. There are also pill boxes available for what we call single dosing. So this is if you take pills once a day. Maybe you take 3 or 4 pills in the morning and you don't take any other medication at all. This is a smaller pill box, and each of the days are labeled. It's very convenient. They're very easy to open and close. It's also very convenient because if you take a trip, you can put all your pills for the week in your pill box and just take the pill box with you. So there are a variety of other products available. There are products that actually have alarms so that they can be programmed to alarm at certain times so that you're reminded to take your medication on time. But it's just another way to gain assistance with the use of some of these products that are available on most all retail centers. Certainly your pharmacist can point those out to you where they're located in their pharmacy. The fourth step is to take responsibility, because it's really your responsibility to maintain your wellness and your health. Although medications can be confusing, I want you to really take responsibility for taking these medications, to having the prescriptions filled on time, to be aware of any special considerations with your medication. For example, should you be taking medication on an empty stomach or with food? Certain medications are only taken once a week and follow special instructions, so you need to be aware of that. Your friends, your family, your physician, your pharmacist can all assist you, but it's really up to you to take full responsibility for your prescribed medications. That's why I believe that the list is so important. When I go into a home to visit someone and they have a current medication list, I know that they're taking responsibility because they're taking it seriously enough to make certain that that list is correct. And that's the kind of observation that nurses make in the home. And that's the type of responsibility that you really need to take. The other thing is, as difficult as it may be, many of these medications really maintain your health or maintain wellness for you. And we all are responsible for our own health. No one can force us to do anything. All we can do is coach individuals toward taking responsibility as far as their health. The fifth step is to enjoy your life. And again, you may say, oh, well, that's just really, this is great, Kathy. How do you expect us to enjoy your life? Well, what I want to point out to you is that my observations have been that when individuals are organized, when they're taking responsibility, when they have awareness as far as their medication, when they get the help that they need, all that fretting goes away, all that worry goes away. And so it frees an individual up with time and effort and interest as far as spending more time with pleasurable activities, things that they like to do. They're not fretting about, rushing home to get their medicine, or they forgot to do this, or it really helps an individual to free up their time and enjoy their life. Lots of individuals, older individuals, are taking medications. It's not uncommon, but that does not prohibit you from enjoying your life. The medications are prescribed to assist you with medical conditions and to help maintain your wellness and your health. So I really encourage you to follow this practical system and really take the time to enjoy your life as far as visiting friends, being with family, treating yourself for dinners, just walks, maybe gardening, all the activities that kind of lift our spirits in this life. My hope is that this presentation has been beneficial to you. I really want you to get involved with this system, this practical system that I've designed for you. And I strongly encourage that you follow that system so that you can minimize the human toll with respect to non-adherence of your medications. I so have enjoyed the time and the research that I put into this as a way of designing this for individuals. If you have any questions or you'd like to make an inquiry, you can reach me at agingathomeinfo@aol.com. Thank you for your time, and I appreciate the opportunity for this presentation.